The Sheffield United team gather in their pre-match huddle in front of the Kop away to our right-hand side. And the wreath is carried by their captain, Ali Arblaster, and it will rest behind that goal in front of the bulk of the most voluble United supporters. Barry Bannon calls together his Sheffield United team. And as we mentioned before, he is someone who does have previous experience of playing in this game along with Dominic Iorfa, and I'm sure that he has had the opportunity to make his point, not just today but also in the build-up to this match. There has not been a goal between these two sides since October of 2017, when United went to Hillsborough and won 4-2. 3 goalless draws since, and we certainly hope for more adventure today than we saw in the previous match back in 2019 at Hillsborough, when fear of losing overrode everything else. It is Wednesday who will get the match underway, and the 132nd Steel City Derby is underway on the home of the EFL, TalkSport 2, with Sheffield Wednesday in their blue and white stripes attacking the Kop away to our left-hand side. United looking to counter-attack right at the start with a long ball forward, looking for Campbell, but it's cleared away by Lowe, a former Sheffield United player, making a swift return to Bramwell Lane, and now by the corner flag on the far side, Cooper will allow the ball to drift out, and it will be a goal kick to Sheffield United. Lucy Ward.
I tell you what, Nigel, what an atmosphere in here. It's so emotional. Anyway, it would have been Remembrance Sunday, but the fans, the Sheffield Wednesday fans, start singing. The Sheffield United fans try and drown them out, but certainly enjoying, all these fans enjoying this derby back again.
And the noise really rolling down the Kop away to our right-hand side as Michael Cooper clears downfield again, headed infield looking for O'Hare, but it's quickly won back by Shea Charles, on loan from Southampton, the Northern Ireland international, anchoring the Wednesday midfield. They try and break with Windass over on the left-hand side, but he's quickly closed down, and it will be a free kick in the end for Sheffield United, and it's back to Cooper wearing all orange, a goalkeeper with 8 clean sheets in his 12 games so far this season. 5 successive home wins here without a goal conceded for Sheffield United, as Gilchrist, on loan from Chelsea, plays it down the line on the right, and now it's back in field to Harry Souttar. Still seems strange not to have Chris Basham wearing the Sheffield United number 6 shirt, but he's alongside us today working for local radio as Souttar plays it high and wide on the far side, looking for Raksaki, but he's unable to keep the ball in play, and it will be a throw into Wednesday, and understandably with 2 minutes played, Lucy, the game yet to calm down.
Yeah, I think that what these fans demand from these two sets of players are that you work hard, you close down, you know, you do all the things that, you know, that are not skillful, you know, you just have that intensity, and then when you do get the ball, let's see something. But opening 5 minutes, you don't tend to see something in the derby games, but it's important that you keep the ball out the back of your net at least the first 15 minutes.
And it's a throw-in for Wednesday on the far side. United leading the overall sequence, 46 wins to 42, with 46 draws, just highlighting the importance at times of not losing this game. And the first meeting was a draw, 1-1 here, back in October 1893. And it's 2019 since the last meeting, and of course United were heading up, and eventually Wednesday were heading down. Now Ahmed Hodzic, good ball down the line on this near side for United, and Harmer infield to the captain Arblaster, breaks back to Harmer again, a crossfield ball from him, and it's a good one which will eventually find the pace of Raksaki down the right. He's got the opportunity to attack, gets a back heel from O'Hare inside the penalty area, but eventually it's run away by Bannon, and now Wednesday will try and break with a long ball downfield, looking for the run of Ingelsson, but The challenge is coming in thick and fast here, and in the end, it's a free kick to United on the far side.
Yeah, it's well dealt with actually. Sheffield United got themselves up the pitch around the edge of Sheffield Wednesday's area, but they're trying to play 1 and 2 touch. There's so many bodies that Barry Bannon got it clear, but gave Sheffield Wednesday a chance to counter, but it ended up with a foul on Alfie Gilchrist, right back for Sheffield United.
Now Suter, on loan from Leicester City, the Scottish-born Australian international. Arblaster back in the side today, the captain. And now down the line from Gilchrist on the United right, but it's quickly cleared away by Lowe, and it's a massive day for him, of course. A free transfer signing from Sheffield United, and I'm sure there were 1 or 2 butterflies for him before the game.
Yeah, just a bit. You know, he'll probably get some stick. All the Wednesday players, they look like out of possession. Sheffield Wednesday, they've got a back 5, just trying to counter the strength that Sheffield United have got in those forward areas, which just means that they're quite compact. They can't really give anything away. As soon as they win it back Wednesday, they quickly forward.
Now Ugbo, yet to score this season, and he was fouled there by O'Hare, and Lewis Smith, the referee, is doing a good job of just trying to keep up with the number of challenges at the moment. With 5 minutes played here on TalkSport 2, Sheffield United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Tell you what, it's not an easy game to referee, just because of the noise, really. You know, you can't hear yourself think, we can't hear ourselves think, never mind. So if you're the referee on the pitch and the players that are not used to this sort of level of intensity of a crowd.
Bannon over the free kick for Sheffield Wednesday. Looks for the height of Iorfa at the far post. He wins the header, but he was taking a ride on Ahmed Hodzic as he did so, and it will be a free kick for Sheffield United on the edge of their own penalty area. Goalless here at Bramall Lane. A tumultuous atmosphere at the start of this game, with the Wednesday supporters in the lower tier away to our left-hand side, heavily outnumbered, but not being drowned out by their United counterparts at the moment, as Sousa plays it wide to the far side, and Gilchrist. Everything coming down the United right in the opening stages. Suter again. Now Ahmed Hodzic, wide to Burrows, who scored that late winning goal at Ashton Gate, live on TalkSport 2 on Tuesday. Burrows infield to Arblaster, now wide to Harmer on this near side again. Harmer's got support from O'Hare on his outside. Burrows also takes over, comes infield, breaks to Arblaster on the edge of the penalty area. Now square to Gilchrist, chipped high to the far post. Harmer challenging, he wins the header, but in the end he was also doing some pushing inside the 6-yard area, and it will be a free kick for United with the first real opportunity.
Yeah, good passing from Sheffield United, but because of the way that Sheffield Wednesday are playing with that back 5 and sort of denying space, sitting a bit deeper, then they've got a bit of space to move about in front of that back 5, and they've got some good passes of the ball. You've got him on this side, you've got Arblaster, and then they just combine with the likes of Callum O'Hare that plays in like a 10 position for Sheffield United. Really clever on the ball, but well defended in the end.
Both managers on the edge of their technical areas. You couldn't really get 2 more differing characters than Chris Wilder and Danny Röhl. The young German and the weathered Sheffield United fan, as Wednesday win a free kick just in front of Chris Wilder on this near side, and there's an opportunity to load the penalty area.
I wasn't happy about that, Nigel, because it was a really soft. You can't give free kicks like that in a derby. It was a little bit of a shoulder barge, but not really. But it gives Wednesday a chance to get themselves in the box.
I think Chris Wilder's barking something towards Lewis Smith, the referee, as he insists that Shea Charles takes the ball back about 6 inches before he wallops it 40 yards. Bannon is also a possibility, but it's Charles who does hammer the ball high towards the penalty area, over the head of Suter at the far post. It'll be recovered by Iorfa, but under pressure he can't keep the ball in play, and it will be a throw-in to Sheffield United, who have the opportunity to move level on points with the leaders Sunderland today after their collapse from 2 goals up to draw at home to Coventry yesterday. Plenty of draws around the top as well. Of course, we brought you the goalless draw between West Brom and Burnley on Thursday night. Leeds winning yesterday. They're very much in the mix as well.
Yeah, big game, Nigel, because you're going into the international break as well. So as well as bragging rights and not wanting to be embarrassed in the city, you also, Sheffield United can get themselves top level with Sunderland, which is massive.
And now an opportunity for Windass to hit one from the edge of the penalty area. Clear sight of goal, right-footed, but he sliced it. No conviction with the finish, and it's about 15 yards wide.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Windass is known for his technical ability in terms of finishing. It shows, it comes across his body, probably the most difficult strike first time, and got a little bit of stick in the stand behind from the Sheffield United fans, but he's certainly, nothing phases him, and he will be determined that he scores a goal and wins for his team today.
And this is a very important month for Sheffield United. They've got Sunderland coming here in 3 weeks on a Friday night. We'll be bringing you live on TalkSport 2 that game as well on the 29th of November. They go to Coventry following the international break, and they may be under new management by then after the sacking of Mark Robbins on Wednesday, as Ahmed Hodzic plays it wide to this near side, and the former Peterborough player Harrison Burrows, but he's given the ball away straight to Charles, down the line for Valerie, but it's overhit, and it will be a throw into Sheffield United with nearly 10 minutes played on TalkSport 2 in the Steel City derby. It's still 0-0, but both sides showing a good deal more attacking intent than they have done in recent meetings. Yeah,
and it will make for an exciting game. One or two mistakes as well, which actually helps for the spectacle, not for the managers or the fans. But no one really, apart from Sheffield United, have got themselves in the area, but the ref blew for a free kick. But they do have some slick play going forward, United.
And they'll be playing for set pieces as well, because no one's conceded more goals in the Championship from set pieces than Sheffield Wednesday this season, 9 in total and 6 from corners. And considering the height that Sheffield United have in their side, the likes of Ahmed Hodzic and Suter, that's something they'll be looking to capitalise on, although Chris Wilder has built a team which is much more than one which tries to finish off set pieces, as it's flicked on by Valerie from the clearance from Beadle on this near side, straight out of play, and it will be a throw-in for United, just in front of the two technical areas. Burrows going back to the Bosnian Ahmed Hodzic. He comes in field, it goes back to Cooper. He'll be closed down by Windass. Cooper, though, hammering it long, and it's gathered on the far side by O'Hare. Now Raksaki looking to get involved, but he's lost out, and Wednesday will try and break over the halfway line, and it's a decent run forward initially. And now Windass wide to this near side, and Valerie's cross though was blocked by Burrows, but it's an attacking throw-in for Wednesday by the corner flag on this near side there, right.
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday really strong in duels. They're making sure that they're really strong in the tackle, and they've actually managed to get forward because of that, complaining to the referee about perhaps a foul on Ingleson right before that move, but they move the ball quickly when they get it, and they're causing Sheffield United the last few minutes some issues.
Ingleson, the Swede, rather sauntering towards this near side, but he'll be lining up for the long throw here, just wiping the ball on his blue and white striped Sheffield Wednesday shirt. And he's rather milking it in front of the United fans, which isn't appreciated, but now he hurls it very flat into the 6-yard area. It was flicked on by Orfer, but he was taking a ride on Suter, which is not easy to do anyway, and a free kick's been given.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that Ingleson's long throw. It's like a rocket.
Now Burrows on this near side over the halfway line for United, but he almost gives the ball away again, and he got lucky there because it ricocheted off Josh Windass straight out of play, and his dad Dean played for both Sheffield clubs during his career.
Sheffield Wednesday are really strong with the press and not giving United players any time whatsoever on the ball, especially in midfield areas.
Palmer, Danny Roll, we can see ushering his players into the challenge here, but a good turn from Arblaster on the edge of the penalty area, tries to find O'Hare, but it's cut out again. Charles quickly forward to Ugbo. Ugbo though was mugged by 3 United players quickly around him inside the Wednesday half, and then there's a late challenge on Arblaster, which is allowed to go by the referee. Arblaster writhing in agony midway inside the Wednesday half. Players eventually stopped, but it wasn't stopped for the challenge on the United captain.
Yeah, Arblaster cannot believe that wasn't given. To say that we've seen a few really soft fouls given by the referee, and that's a foul on Arblaster. And it's quite interesting because you've got Arblaster is so good on the ball. It was a late, just was caught. He got the ball just before it, but he writhed around on the floor, and obviously this group of fans in this stadium showing the referee what they think.
It was Shea Charles with the challenge. I think it was a genuine attempt to win the ball, but he definitely caught plenty of Arblaster as well. Now Sousa, wide towards the far side, and Gilchrist. Raksaki now has got space and time to use his pace. Back towards Gilchrist again, but Deshaun Bernard comes across to concede the corner with a solid challenge. But United now beginning to build down their right.
Yeah, Gilchrist, obviously on loan from Chelsea. Deshaun Bernard brought him through the Manchester United Academy. I'm sure that they've known each other over the years, that's for sure.
And of course, Wednesday have shown a real weakness from set pieces so far this season defensively. United will try and make that situation worse here with a corner on the far side. Swung in towards that near post, coming through to punch was Beadle, hammered back in by Harmer, never got hold of it. Headed away by Charles on the edge of the penalty area, and the head tennis continues until Wednesday make a more decisive clearance. Ingleson will chase up towards the halfway line, but Harmer guides it back to Cooper and then quickly gets it back. A long diagonal ball from him, from left to right, wide to the far side, looking for Arblaster. Raksaki then challenging Lowe. Lowe has gone down clutching his face, and a free kick's been given to Sheffield Wednesday. In fact, it was Marvin Johnson who was caught on the far side.
Yeah, as much as possible, Sheffield United are trying to get this longer switch in, so they get it in the left back area, and whether it's a left back or one of the midfielders comes in, they just send the ball wide and just put Sheffield Wednesday, because the way that Sheffield Wednesday is set up, they're like inside of Sheffield United's shape, trying to be compact, so there is some space if you can get the switch on as Sheffield Wednesday come across.
Nearly 16 minutes played here on TalkSport 2, 0-0. Coming up following this game, we're live to Munich for the Giants against the Panthers as the international series from the NFL continues. Another free kick for Sheffield Wednesday, midway inside their own half. The challenge on Charles this time. And of course, understandably, both teams hugely pumped up for this game, and the adrenaline pumping through every single challenge.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, the opening minutes of this game. Certainly, both teams well at it. I think Sheffield Wednesday are quite good in the way that they press, but Sheffield United move the ball so well.
Now Harmer. He's waiting for Sousa to make the run behind him on his outside on the left, but in the end he goes to the right. Sousa. And here is Alfie Gilchrist, one of a number of very young players in this team, getting their first real experience of something of this intensity, although Gilchrist did feature for Chelsea at times in the Premier League towards the end of last season, scored a goal as well, memorably against Everton. Gilchrist back in field again to Sousa.
Yeah, Sousa drops between the two centre-backs. Harrison Burrows, left back, goes really high, as does Alfie Gilchrist, just trying to stretch the game.
Now Burrows down this left-hand side. Arblaster was demanding the ball on the edge of the penalty area and then gives a mouthful to Burrows when the pass never arrived. But here is Sousa fighting Gilchrist on the right. Now Raksaki. He'll try and attack Johnson. The early cross into the penalty area. O'Hare took a touch, took a shot which was closed down, and it bobbles into the arms of James Beadle. Yeah,
it's a good cross in there, and there's a lot of blue and white shirts in Sheffield Wednesday's box, so any sort of ball in has to be accurate. It was. O'Hare took a touch, but I just don't think he can. I think he probably had to try and get something on it, guide it goalwards, because that first touch just allowed the defenders to close him down.
Iorfa back to Beadle, who wasn't helped by the pace of that back pass, and in the end all Beadle can do is slice the ball straight out of play on this near side for a United throw-in. Taken quickly. Burrows and then he was closed down by Windass, and United will have to try again.
Yeah, it's been a frantic opening 15 minutes, hasn't it? I think you look at it, you've seen some bits of passing from both teams, but mostly frantic.
O'Hare tries to play it back into the penalty area. It breaks for Arblaster. His cross in, though, is headed away, and Ingleson with a crucial intervention to nod the ball clear, with Gilchrist closing in on the ball on the edge of the penalty area, and then Ingleson looking to spark the counter-attack himself down the left, but he runs it straight out of play.
It's going to slow down at some point, Nigel.
Yeah.
It's been the crowd are right into it, as we thought they would be after 5 years away from this fixture, and the players certainly responded on the pitch.
It's one of those games which doesn't really need a ball at the moment. 19 minutes played, 0-0. It's played forward by Arblaster, but cleared away by Lowe at the far post, and now hacked forward by Bannon for Wednesday. Ugbo will try and fasten onto the ball, but he catches Ahmed Hodzic late. Ugbo, I don't think was going to get that, but he absolutely made certain he was going to catch the Bosnian.
Yeah, I mean, it looked a little bit wild. Ahmed Hodzic has gone down, and I think it was just a coming together. We're watching the replay on the screen now above us, and Ugbo tried to get to it and just caught Ahmed Hodzic with his standing leg. I mean, the referee needs to, when the referee brings his first yellow card out, it has to really be deserved, Nigel, because otherwise it will just degenerate the whole game. But that was a tough challenge, and he's just trying to keep it going, the referee.
He's set the bar quite high for yellow cards at the moment, to be honest.
A good description there now.
Well, there was a Wednesday player down, Marvin Johnson, on the far side from the earlier challenge. Ahmed Hodzic is back on his feet, but there's a break in play, so both coaches are calling across their sets of players to make 1 or 2 points in this din. 20 minutes played, it is goalless. Neither goalkeeper's really had a difficult shot to save, but it's been absolutely breathless.
Yeah, it has, and I don't think either manager will be disappointed. I just think that both will think, well, right, yeah, you've worked hard, yes, you've got into them exactly as we wanted them, because it's a derby, get the crowd going. But I think that at some point you need a bit of composure. We've seen it in fits and starts. We've seen good passing, particularly from Sheffield United. Sheffield Wednesday have been a little bit more direct, but it's been effective. But nothing really to affect either goal.
Well, the Championship takes a weekend off next weekend, but we will have games from League One on TalkSport 2, 12:30 on Saturday. Exeter against Lincoln. Lincoln going extremely well towards the top of the table, and then a big one at Edgeley Park at 3 o'clock. Stockport against Wrexham. Wrexham, of course, having another brilliant season, and Stockport putting 5 past Bolton in their local derby yesterday, something which they will have really enjoyed. Johnson still receiving treatment.
Yeah, it's a concern for Wednesday, this, because he's been a big part of what they've done. You know, when they've played well, when they beat Norwich, he's been a big part of that, and they will not want to lose, because they're quite settled. The group looks quite comfortable in the formation that Danny Roll has set out for, and certainly in a derby you don't want to lose one of your key players right at the start.
It's his wrist, his right wrist. I think he was challenged there by Rapsaki in mid-air, and I think he landed very heavily, and his right wrist took the brunt of that, and it's been strapped up, but he's still flexing it as he heads towards the touchline on the far side. Meanwhile, Danny Roll, his coach, is deep in conversation with one of his analysts, looking at the tablet inside the technical area. I'm not sure what you can analyse from the first 22 minutes.
Absolutely not. It's just been sort of not end to end, but middle to middle, and it's been energetic, intense, and just as we'd expected.
Now the Brazilian Sousa in the centre circle for Sheffield United, wide to this near side on Burrows. Harmer again, just tried to be a bit too clever, and in the end got his feet in a tangle as he tried to flick the ball between his legs, and it goes behind.
Right in front of the Wednesday supporters at that end, and he tried not to look them in the eye as they were gesturing to him, shall we say.
But it's a goal kick. 23 minutes played here on TalkSport 2. Sheffield United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. And James Beadle, who was promoted at Oxford last season on loan from Brighton, a young goalkeeper, And it's a big day for him as well, as he clears long downfield, headed away by Suter, who must be the tallest player on the pitch. Over the top now by Gilchrist as the sun tries to emerge through the clouds here at Bramwell Lane. Now Arblaster, challenged by his opposite number, the Wednesday captain Bannon. It spins off Bannon's shoulder out of play, and it will be a throw-in on the far side for Sheffield United.
You could chip another ball on here, Nige, because it's just been hammered. Both teams just trying to get some sort of advantage in this game, but they've still got to win that battle, and that is what's important. It will slow down at some point, and then you can get the technical players on the ball, but Sheffield Wednesday are just keeping it competitive and direct.
Raksaki going down under the challenge of Ingleson, but no free kick on the far side. And the game resolutely refusing to take any sort of shape at the moment. It has been a bruising 25 minutes or so. Neither team giving an inch as Ingleson plays it down the line on the far side. It was flicked on by Johnson, looking for Ugbo. Now Suter beating Ugbo in the air. Bannon, though, one of the smallest players on the pitch, winning an aerial duel. And it's wide on this near side for Valerie. Infield towards Windass, the high cross in, Ugbo challenging, it's cleared away, Windass almost wins it back, appeals for handball, it's then cleared away. Campbell believed he was being held back there as he looked to chase forward by Dijon Bernard, but the referee quick to wave away any appeals.
Yeah, the United crowd not happy with that, but Bernard had to just make sure that he didn't allow Campbell that free run. Game is crying out for a bit of quality in front of goal, something that'll just bring it alive and just change the dynamic of the game.
Raksaki now chasing a long ball forward. He's so quick, he's eaten up the ground to come towards Lowe, but Lowe does well. He's got support in field. Now Bannon, almost on his knees, slides it into the path of Iorfa. Wide towards Dijon Bernard, who charges forward on this near side. Iorfa does well to find Valerie, and then Iorfa was taken out by Harmer on the halfway line, and Burrows got the final challenge, and now the yellow card is eventually out, and the referee's patience has snapped with 25 minutes played, and Harrison Burrows is the recipient of the first yellow card.
Yeah, I feel for the referee, because it's end to end, because Wednesday will get it up really quickly. Sheffield United will win it back and try and counter. The referee's got to keep up with it. There's tackles flying in everywhere, which is brilliant. It's a good derby to watch.
I'm not sure that Burrows challenge was worse than anything which has gone before.
But at some point, the next challenge would be a yellow card, and it's just unlucky whether it's you or I. It's just the law of football.
26 minutes played. Free kick to Wednesday. Only about 10 yards inside the United half. On this near side, the right. And Bramwell Lane is now bathed in winter sunshine. Bannon with the delivery. High towards the far post. Iorfa was looking to rise, but he never really got off the ground. Raksaki heads away. And now Raksaki gathers again. Wide towards Gilchrist. Gilchrist with the ball down the line, which is covered by Johnson, but United will have a throw-in.
And this game just takes absolutely no prisoners, and to be fair to both sets of players, nobody is hiding out there. Everybody is at it. It's just lacking that quality, which you probably expect.
And I just wonder how pumped up the coaches get their team before the game, or whether they try and tell them to calm down.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, an opening of a game like this, particularly for Wednesday, you've got to win the battle. You've got to be physical.
I think over the years, United were always seen as maybe, if not the smaller club, then maybe Wednesday had more of a pedigree at the highest level. But there's no doubt who's in the ascendancy at the moment, and maybe Wednesday have to overcome that sort of innate feeling they have to really rise to the battle, which is what they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, they certainly have. They know that the way that they've got to play if they're going to win this game, and they're certainly carrying that out.
Jan Valerie does extremely well to keep a long ball from Bannon in play on this near side. Now Charles, high cross field towards the left, seeking out Johnson, headed away by Gilchrist. Arblaster looking for Raksaki, but Wednesday win it back. Here is Ugbo, midway inside the Wednesday half. Wide to the left-hand side, a low ball across the penalty area behind both Lowe and Windass. Harmer though overruns it, gives it away to Charles. Ratsaki though with a high ball forward for United. Wide to this near side, and Iorfa will just rise above Burrows to nod it out of play, and it will be a throw into United.
Yeah, at some point, one of the players with a greater technical quality has to do something, put the foot on the ball. Can you calm it down? It's so difficult because both teams are pressing, both teams are not allowing a second on the ball, but at some point there needs to be some quality.
Sousa back to Ahmed Hodzic, and here is Gilchrist.
Yeah, better from Sheffield United, just putting a few passes together, and that then takes the sting out of Sheffield Wednesday's press.
And you so rarely get games like this in the Premier League these days. I know there's maybe not the quality of this game because they're both in the Championship, but with VAR and so much scrutiny on the game, if you do anything in a game now, it will be caught and it will be analysed to death, whereas in this game there's always a risk that someone won't see it.
Yeah, it's a proper throwback, that's all I'd say.
Here is Campbell now, chasing a ball forward down the right for United. Infield to Ratsaki, but he loses out to Lowe, and then sliding in to make the challenge was Gilchrist, but Wednesday will try and build now. Bannon slid infield to Windass, quickly wide to Valerie on this near side. Infield to Iorfa, midway inside the Wednesday half. Wednesday now looking to try and play some more constructive football. Windass down the line, but he's given the ball away to Burrows. Burrows infield. And now Harrison Burrows has gone down on this near side, and he may require some treatment.
No, I think it's Arblaster. You know, the back of Sheffield United shirts are the stripes, and you cannot see the numbers on them. But I tell you what, his reaction there, holding on to his knees, a little bit concerning for Sheffield United, because he has been key, and he looks like he's in a little bit of a panic. Arblaster, just because of whatever he felt. I didn't really see what happened because I don't think the ball was particularly. I think the ball had gone away from his area, but it's a concern for Chris Wilder.
Well, Arblaster is flat out on the turf at the moment, both hands behind his head, talking to the medical team. We're watching the replay on the monitor here in the press box, and I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah,
there.
It looked like it was as he landed. He's sort of screaming, holding his knee. The way the camera angle was, he was sort of, his right leg was behind him, so you couldn't really see, but he was sort of jockeying, so he was sort of jumping and landing, and it was his right leg as he did that. That's a real concern, because when it happens like that, then you know that something perhaps potentially could be quite bad in that knee.
Well, flexing that right knee at the moment. And Arblaster is deep in conversation with two members of the United medical team.
Well, he's doing tests for sort of maybe cartilage damage and ligament damage there on his knee, and just asking Arblaster what he feels. But you could tell his first reaction, he actually jumped and fell off the pitch, rolled back onto it. But yeah, it was particularly a shock for him, but hopefully it was just that initial, and it's not as bad as first thought, but he does look in real discomfort.
Well, he's hobbling across towards this near side at the moment, and there is a look towards the United bench by one of Chris Wilder's backroom team, and the way he's moving is not particularly great. But it does look as though he may be coming back on in the short term.
Yeah, hopefully Sheffield United, but he's sort of holding on to it and walking about. Let's see how he goes. I think he is going to try. He's having a little bit of a jog and a walk up and down the sideline. He doesn't want to go off, and that's for sure. He's the captain of Sheffield United in the derby. You don't want to go off.
Play is back underway once again. 33 minutes played here on TalkSport 2, the home of the EFL. It's Sheffield United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. The Sunday session with Sam Matterface underway at 1:30 over on TalkSport, with all the goals as they go in from the day's action across the Premier League, the Championship and the WSL. As Bannon plays it wide to the left-hand side for Wednesday, looking for Johnson, but overhit, and it will be a throw-in for United.
I tell you what, I think Sheffield Wednesday, being the away team, will be happier with how it's going at the moment, simply because, yes, Sheffield United have had the majority of possession, as we thought they would do, but Sheffield Wednesday have been quite direct and been a problem at times for Sheffield United.
Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0 is their latest score in the WSL with just over half an hour played. Now Burrows forward again towards O'Hare, but low coming across to clear. Our blaster is back on, but you can see him flexing that right knee.
A little bit gingerly running, and he obviously can still feel something, and you just worry, don't you, as a player, that something has happened, but he obviously felt some sort of sharp pain.
Now Suter on the halfway line for the Blades. And like so many people before him on this game so far, he's tried to play an expansive ball to the flanks, and it goes straight over the head of the intended recipient and out of play for a throw-in.
Yeah, there's been a lot of mistakes that both teams have given the ball away, but actually it's made the spectacle more enjoyable for the neutral that we are anyway, Nigel.
Absolutely. Not too many neutrals inside this stadium today. Now Burrows plays it forward, looking for Harmer down the United left, but Charles with an interesting back pass to Beadle, but he managed to find the intended target. It's then cleared away, but Suter again rising to head the ball clear, and then Charles is penalised for a challenge on Arblaster, and United take the free kick quickly. Ahmed Hodzic. Arblaster again, who's now moving with a bit more freedom. They do have options on the bench. Andre Brooks could possibly come on, another young Sheffield-born player who would love to play in this game. Souza. Gilchrist and Raksaki waiting on the right. It's Raksaki now, who's not really had the opportunity to go beyond anyone so far.
No, he hasn't, but I think he's dealt well with the ball. He's not really got it, like you say, in behind, but baptism of fire for him on loan from Crystal Palace. This is what it's all about, football at a lower level than the Premier League.
Did play in the Premier League for Palace last season, and previous to that had a very good season on loan at Charlton when he scored 15 goals in League One. Now Ahmed Hodzic. Arblaster inside the centre circle, and again he's able to turn this time and go to the wider spaces on the right, and Gilchrist in the sunshine. Raksaki now does have a burst of speed into the penalty area, but he catches Lowe, who defended that cleverly, just came across at the right moment, and Johnson in the end was the player who was caught inside the penalty area, and it will be a free kick.
Yeah, he felt some sort of touch. Johnson went down. He was always going to win the free kick, the defender, but I think from Raksaki's point of view, because Sheffield Wednesday are defending deep and denying space in behind, he's going to be cleverer. You know, does he go as if he's going to go in behind, then come and collect and then run at defenders? Because he can do that. Or, you know, he's got to time his runs to get in behind and his teammates see him, because you're sort of not seeing, like you said, Nigel, not seeing what he's all about, Raksaki.
Well, United have only conceded one first half goal so far this season, and at the moment that record is going to be maintained with 37 minutes played, and it's still goalless as Campbell looks to chase a long ball forward now, but Beadle coming outside his penalty area clears the ball away and then nearly collides with his teammate Iorfa. But it's a throw into United, which Harrison Burrows will take. Arblaster, Burrows, and now the triangle of possession completed with a ball to Harmer. And here is Souza. Wide to the far side. Gilchrist has got the opportunity to play in Raksaki, and now Johnson will just look to try and show him that outside again, but it's back to Souza, and here is Gilchrist now on the overlap, who tries to come in field beyond Johnson, but again Johnson showing his experience to defend well and just shepherds the ball behind. Yeah,
he's playing left wing back. You know, when they've not got the ball, Sheffield Wednesday, he's actually getting himself back and defending against Raksaki or against Gilchrist, and it's a couple of times now. The last two attacks from United, he's managed to stifle them.
Myra Ramirez has scored the opening goal for Chelsea in the WSL. They lead at Liverpool by 1-0. And it's Chelsea against Manchester City next week, and that's live on TalkSport 2 Saturday at 5:30. And we also have the Merseyside derby at 3 o'clock next Sunday from the WSL. And the North London derby at 1:45 on Saturday. That game will be on TalkSport. And England conclude their Nations League campaign in the international break as well. On Thursday night we have Greece against England, and then live from Wembley on Sunday, 5 o'clock kickoff for England against the Republic of Ireland. Both those games live on TalkSport. Throw in for Wednesday on the far side. Plenty of room around the pitch here at Bramall Lane, so once again Svante Ingelsson can really use the run up well. And we've seen him already arrow some very flat long throws towards that 6-yard area, and already Lewis Smith, the referee, is trying to sort out and preempt what's about to happen. And of course he walks away and it carries on, and it's Charles and Ahmed Hodzic right in front of the goalkeeper.
So difficult to stamp that out, because it'll happen as soon as the referee goes away. It'll happen.
Two players who are both saying they're entitled to stand their ground, and in the end it's headed away at the near post by Gilchrist. O'Hare brings the clearance down. United could break it. O'Hare right to the near side, and then Bannon with a pretty awful challenge which will lead to a yellow card. And once again the tempers flare. Players from both sets of teams beginning to square up around the centre circle, and this has been brewing for some time. Bannon catching Burrows still on the turf. Bannon will be booked, and both sets of players really need to calm down.
I'll tell you what, this is what it's all about, Nigel. Sheffield derby. This is it. All of the players, chest against chest, having a little bit of argument. And this is all, I'll tell you what, Burrows did so well. What he did is he came across from his right, he stepped over it with his right foot and let it come across his body. Barry Bannon already committed himself to a challenge, and it is a yellow card. I'm not sure it's any more than that, but Bannon, absolute hook, line and sinker, fell for that. Stepped over it, let him run across. Bannon comes across, completely takes Burrows out. That is a yellow card. Completely missed the ball, and brilliant play by Burrows. Tell you what, he's a good player, left back for Sheffield United.
But it's almost as if both sets of players were just waiting for something, all that pent-up aggression, and then it flowed out. Yeah,
I love that though, Nige, because that's what it's all about. The referee didn't book anybody for a bit of arguments, bit of handbags in the middle.
Well, it's back now to Cooper, and here is Ahmed Hodzic. Burrows again. This time it's Valerie who careers into the challenge. The booze for Bannon as he wins a header. Ogbo brings it down 25 yards out. Challenged by Sousa, but Bannon takes over. Plays a good ball wide to the left, and Johnson, he fires in across, which takes a deflection off Gilchrist behind for a corner.
Tell you what, great defending. I think that's what you say about today. And you know, Sheffield Wednesday's press has been brilliant. Sheffield United have had to last-ditch block there. It's just about making sure you're not the one that allows the opposition to score a goal in a derby.
Shea Charles will take the corner in the portion of the field illuminated by a strong sun now. On the far side, 3 minutes to play in the first half, 0-0. It will be an in-swinger from Charles. Very deep. Windass winning the header back into the 6-yard area. Fisted clear initially by Cooper. Back out towards Charles again. Charles will try and work the angle for the cross. Goes back to Bannon. Bannon delivers the ball in. Ogbo brings it down, tries to shape for a volley. Misses his kick. Ogbo drives it into the penalty area. It was loose for a second. It scrambled away, and eventually a free kick has been given to United for shirt pulling.
Yeah, it's a problem for Sheffield United because the Sheffield Wednesday's corner, they just kept it alive. Josh Windass coming at the far post, and as it came in, you know, I think he was just underneath it, a little bit too high for him, but he kept it alive. Getting bodies in the way from Sheffield United before he blows his whistle. But Deshaun Bernard is just having a bit of a to-do with, I think it's Ahmed Hodzic. The referee's having a word with, no, it's Gilchrist, having a word with both of them.
Well, before one of the earlier corner kicks, it was Charles and Ahmed Hodzic, and in the end Ahmed Hodzic picked up Charles and threw him into the back of the net once the referee's back had been turned.
As you do.
On that occasion, Charles took the corner, and there was all sorts going on under that high ball once Windass had managed to keep the ball alive at the far post. Cooper, though, takes the free kick. I think we'll have plenty of added time at the end of the first half. We've had 2 lengthy stoppages for the injury to Arblaster and also Marvin Johnson as well. Now Bannon finding Johnson with the opportunity to attack down the left for Wednesday. Low ball into the area, almost finding Windass. It's cleared initially and then fired over the top by Charles, who was caught in the act of shooting by Harmer, but the ball had gone and it was way over the top.
I'll tell you what, they're attacking well, and it's like a diagonal ball on the floor. It fell into Windass's stride, but I don't think he was expecting it, because it got a little bit of a nick from Harry Suter. But I'm looking now at Danny Roll, and he's thinking to himself, that was a chance, and it was, Nigel. I mean, for all the possession and some of the quality that Sheffield United have had, I think it's Sheffield Wednesday who look more threatening in front of goal.
Cooper clears downfield. 45 seconds of normal time to play in the first half here on TalkSport 2. We'll be live to Munich at half-time to preview the afternoon's NFL action from the Allianz Arena. Johnson will take a throw-in for Wednesday now, down the line, and it's cleared by Suter, flicked on by Arblaster towards the halfway line. O'Hare, with a shock of dark hair, heads it forward. Campbell tries to keep the ball in play on the far side, but in the end does win a throw-in for United, and Dean Whitestone, the 4th official, heads out towards the edge of the technical areas to tell us there will be 5 additional minutes.
I'll tell you what, at half-time the ball needs to go to the hospital. It's been absolutely battered, hasn't it? It's been good, it's been a good watch. Just not enough quality that's just needed to get one of the teams in front.
Well, the free kick has been given to Sheffield United, wide on the far side there right. It was Bannon's challenge on O'Hare. Bannon, one of 2 players booked in the first half, along with Harrison Burrows of United, and it was Bannon's challenge on Burrows which really kicked things off a few moments ago. But you kept saying, Lucy, the game's got to calm down, the game's got to calm down, and it hasn't.
It hasn't, and you know, it probably take until deep into the second half to calm down, and maybe that's when you get a chance, but I mean, both teams completely at it.
Free kick on the far side. Harmer will take it in towards the near post, flicked away by Johnson. It'll be recovered by Arblaster down the United left. A good cross into the penalty area. Good header away though by Bernard. Gilchrist on the volley. Bernard is able to block it with his head. Nodded forward by Harmer, but recovered by Johnson. Johnson hammers it downfield now for Wednesday, and Harmer does well to get there before Ugbo and guide it back to Cooper.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of positivity, Sheffield Wednesday, and positive play from breaks when Sheffield United have committed bodies forward, but it's good defending from Harmer. He's managed to be the last man.
Well, 5 of the last 7 have been drawn between these two, and you wouldn't get fantastic odds against that happening again.
And how many were you here for?
I've seen 3 successive 0-0 draws.
No, Nige.
I missed the 4-2 win. I think Jim did it. So Jim has seen the last, that was 2017, the last time anyone scored in this fixture. Now Valerie coming forward now. Low cross in towards that near post, and it's sliced behind by Suter for a Wednesday corner.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for Wednesday to get themselves in front just before half-time, and you know they've had quite a lot of space to run into, and they've used the ball well at times. Sheffield Wednesday, it's about getting the ball in the box, but good defending again, and that's what it's been. It's been a half of clearances, of blocks, and good defending all over the pitch, really.
Bannon will take the corner, gets a cordial welcome from the cop behind that goal. This will be an in-swinger. Bernard right in front of the goalkeeper, into the near post, and in the end it's headed behind. Ahmed Hodzic claims that the final touch was off Bernard, but it's another corner.
Yeah, it's a good run actually from Bernard. He sort of diagonal into the near post area that was vacated and trying to get something on. It's difficult to see even from the replay. Referee was right behind it. I think he got a nod from his assistant on this side.
Bernard and Iorfa both almost squaring up to Suter and Ahmed Hodzic. on the edge of the 6-yard area. Bannon's delivery deeper this time. Cooper fisting the ball away through the crowd. O'Hare nods it further clear. Harmer will try and get there before Charles, but he nods it wide to Windass. High ball back into the penalty area. Iorfa looked offside, and as he challenged, the flag went up.
Yeah, it's a clever ball from Windass. You know, he's a bright footballer, Josh Windass, and he just put the ball back in high and so difficult to deal with. But Iorfa had just been a little bit slow to get himself out, but that would have caused problems for Sheffield United.
And we have just over a minute of added time to play. 0-0 here on TalkSport 2. Vinny Souza berating the rest of his team for a lack of movement as he plays it wide to the far side for United and Gilchrist. Now back to Ahmed Hodzic. And Vinicius Souza going all the way back to Cooper, who now hits it long, and Burrows making the run in behind Valerie, and now Burrows inside the penalty area. He's challenged by a flying Beadle, and Burrows, the player who has been penalised, he claimed initially that Beadle impeded him inside the area, but the goalkeeper, who came out there like Superman, arms flailing, gets the free kick.
Yeah, I mean, because Burrows was on the floor, they sort of clattered into each other, but it's one of those that's difficult, actually, because if you're a Wednesday fan, you think that it was a foul by Burrows. If you're a United fan, you think that the goalkeeper clattered into him, but I think the easiest thing to referee is give a foul to the goalkeeper.
It was a free kick either way, to be honest.
No, it was just coming together, wasn't it?
Beadle clears downfield. Souza rising above Valerie. Harmer unable to keep the ball in play, but that is half time. No goals. So 2 young players going off and 2 more young players coming on. All of Siriki's appearances have been from the bench this season. And Sidney Peck also only 20 years of age, already a Welsh youth international. So the United team is Cooper in goal. It's now Siriki at right back, Suter, Ahmed Hodzic and Burrows. Coming into midfield, of course, is Peck, along with Souza, with O'Hare, Harmer and Campbell and Raksaki completing the United lineup. Wednesday Beadle in goal, Valerie, Iorfa, Bernard and Lowe. They've got Charles holding in midfield with Windass, Bannon, Ingleton and Johnson ahead of him, and Ugbo leading the attack as United attacking the Kop end away to our right hand side. Look to come forward now with Raksaki. No lack of pace for them down the right hand side now with Siriki also on the ball, looking to come forward, delivers a cross which is blocked by Johnson, and it will be the first corner of the second half.
Yeah, still Raksaki, it's isolated Max Lowe there, and you just want him to go at him and he didn't, but the fact is that I think Chris Wilder has brought Siriki on so that he overlaps, so that they can have that overload down the right hand side.
Chelsea lead by 2-0 now. Guro Wrighton with the second against Liverpool just before half time in the Women's Super League. 0-0 here at the start of the second half at Bramall Lane. Burrows with the corner, rolled low towards the near post, and in the end it was controlled by Campbell, but the shot was blocked. It was a very difficult effort to get through the crowd, even from 8 yards out. Now Burrows again, infield, a poor ball though, Souza unable to gather. Wednesday will try and break now with Ugbo, wide towards Valerie, down this near side, an unfamiliar position for him down the left. He comes in field, eventually he's surrounded by red and white stripes, and Siriki will find Peck, and United will be able to try and clear, but
it's a really well worked corner that, Nigel, and he found himself, Campbell, right in front of goal, and it actually did have time for a touch, but then by the second touch, which was going to be a shot, he was really blocked well by 2 or 3 Wednesday defenders.
Now Harry Suter. Once again, Sheffield United not conceding in a first half, only 1 first half goal conceded during the entire season. Suter forward towards O'Hare and clipped further wide down the right for Raksaki, but Ingleton, who has been quietly effective for Wednesday so far, brings it clear, but then Ugbo is quickly closed down by Peck, and Wednesday have a throw in down this near side. United looking for their 6th successive home win without conceding. Wednesday have a couple of victories away from home this season. They've only scored 5 goals on the road in 6 games though, but they've come from behind twice to win in recent weeks at Coventry and Portsmouth. But now an opportunity for Wednesday to build again down the left with Harmer, but Shea Charles is a very good defensive midfielder. I thought he carried the ball out for a corner kick there, but the referee disagreed. But in the end, a free kick has been given to United anyway in a more advantageous position.
Yeah, actually, Shea Charles did really well to recover from that defensive midfield position for Sheffield Wednesday, but it looked like he'd run it out, but the ball came out, and this is probably in a good position, a better position, like you say, Nige, for Sheffield United to get bodies in the middle and just try and get the noses in front in this game.
It's a free kick level with the edge of the Wednesday penalty area. On the left, Harrison Burrows is over it, one of 2 players booked in the game so far, along with Barry Bannon. And Wednesday have pulled every single blue and white striped shirt back behind this defensively. Ugbo is the one-man wall, and he's now being ushered back the 10 yards. And Lewis Smith, the referee, has done his best so far to allow the game to flow, but at points that's not been possible. The set piece flighted in by Burrows, headed away though by Valerie at the near post. Harmer though has the opportunity, left-footed 30 yards out, but he slips it through to O'Hare, and Campbell scores! Tyrese Campbell sparks bedlam all around Bramall Lane. Wednesday not reacting to the second ball, and they were carved apart by Sheffield United, and Tyrese Campbell in his first Steel City derby scores the first goal in this fixture for over 7 years. Sheffield United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Tell you what, this place has absolutely exploded, and to be fair, the initial free kick was poor, but then it comes out to Harmer, who is such a clever player. He shapes to shoot on his right foot, cuts back on his left, and he plays it to O'Hare, who then played it forward to Campbell, who just had a one-touch finish, slid it past the keeper. What a finish from the forward, but made by Harmer, helped by O'Hare, and finished by Campbell. Brilliant.
Smoke bombs have now been thrown on at both ends. There's a red one which has emerged from the cop to our left. I'm not sure if it's a blue one or a white one, which is currently smouldering away in the lower tier in front of the Wednesday fans at the Bramall Lane end. But Tyrese Campbell with the opening goal for Sheffield United, and finally we have a goal in this fixture. But the game won't start again until the smoke bombs were moved.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we talked about needing a bit of quality, whatever that was from either team. They needed something in front of goal, and that's certainly what Sheffield United have produced there. A well-worked set piece in terms of when it comes back, and second phase and the second ball, all about Harmer, all about the cleverness and the gamecraft of O'Hare and the finish of Campbell. And I think probably on the balance of possession, Sheffield United deserve it, but I think that Sheffield Wednesday will be absolutely kicking themselves to concede from a set piece.
And a pall of red smoke now hanging over Bramall Lane amid the celebrating Sheffield United supporters, their team leading by a 0-0. Holler pulled the goal back, João Pedro 5 minutes before half-time at home to West Brom, but they still trailed 2-1 in the 1 o'clock kickoff at the MKM Stadium. Sheffield United looking for the second goal here. Ratsaki, was he fouled on this near side by Lowe? He was, and it's a free kick as Barry Bannon almost gets involved with Vinny Souza, but both think better of it.
Yeah, and it's just for Sheffield United now, it's about just keeping calm. If they can score another and nick another quickly and finish this game off, then they'll do that. But Sheffield Wednesday have to keep their composure and make sure they don't concede again, otherwise that'll be it.
Well, we can clearly smell the cordite in our nostrils here now as that smoke continues to blow across the pitch. Harmer with the free kick high into the penalty area, and it will eventually be cleared away by Windass. But he's lost out. Campbell really pumped up now following his goal. Drives it into the near post, but Beadle will claim ahead of Ratsaki.
He did well there, Campbell. He won the ball back from Windass and just far too quick for Windass. Gets the ball across, but nobody really in the middle. It'd be Campbell that you'd expect in the middle. Claimed well by Beadle.
Bernard, poor ball forward, cut out by Sariki. O'Hare onto the ball now for United. Harmer again in the central area, tries to thread it further forward to Peck, but Wednesday have given the ball away. They're really rocking here. Ratsaki though losing out to Lowe, and Lowe unnecessarily crunches into Sariki and gives away a really stupid free kick.
Well, I don't know what he's doing there, Lowe, because what Sariki did was just right at the last minute just put his body in the way and invite Lowe to make the challenge. He didn't really need to. The ball's going out. You get the throw-in. Sheffield United get the throw-in, but it's much better the throw-in than getting the free kick, which is what they've got at the moment.
Well, we mentioned how fallible Sheffield Wednesday have been from set pieces, and they didn't score direct from the set piece there, but the way they were set up to defend that second ball was pretty lamentable. But it's a free kick here, which Burrows will take for Sheffield United. Bramall Lane exultant at the moment. Swung in by Burrows, high into the 6-yard area. Beadle comes to fist it clear. Harmer on the volley, and he really went for that. A big, meaty effort, right-footed, and it's high over the top.
Yeah, they're desperately trying to get that second goal, Sheffield United, when they think that they've got Wednesday on the rocks, that they can nick it, but just standing firm and making the changes at half-time. Sheffield United has just added a bit of vigour to what they've got to offer, particularly down this right-hand side.
Well, when United have scored recently, usually that's been enough because they barely concede. They've had 3 1-0s here and 2 2-0s. And they would take 1-0 at this stage. They would very happily take the full-time whistle now, but a long way to go in the game. 55 minutes played. United leading by a goal to 0. Bannon forward though for Wednesday to find Windass. Now wide towards the right-hand side. Valerie unable to find Windass again. And Sousa with a very unnecessary back heel. He's given the ball straight to Iorfa. Iorfa though tight to the touchline, but he's found Valerie. Valerie though will be shepherded out of play by Burrows, but Wednesday do have a throw-in. And they need to find some sort of response here, because although they had moments in the first half, they didn't really look like scoring.
No, they didn't really have the quality of chance, although they looked threatening because they were direct. They got the ball up the pitch quickly, but it's really important now that they make use of throw-ins and set pieces Wednesday.
Ingleson with a long throw again, headed away though by Suter. Flick further clear. Harmer was caught on the edge of the penalty area, and it will be a free kick. It was Jan Valerie who claimed it was a genuine attempt to win the ball, but it's a free kick instead for United.
Yeah, when you're playing in the derbies like this and you get caught, then you just a little bit of over-exaggeration just because of how wild the atmosphere is, just trying to edge the referee in your way, because if somebody gets sent off, it gives you a real advantage around the edge of the area. I think he's trying to block, and in the end Harmer kicked against the bottom of Valerie's foot, and it was a foul by Valerie.
Free kick just inside the penalty area. 56 minutes played. Sheffield United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0 here on TalkSport 2, the home of the EFL. We have the Giants and the Panthers coming up live from Munich at the end of this game at 2:30. Charles plays it forward now for Wednesday. Opportunity for Valerie to attack down the right. Sousa though challenges him. Wednesday want a free kick, but in the end it's a United throw-in, and those supporters in the lower tier of the Bramall Lane end stand aren't too happy about that.
Yeah, Sousa is just standing over Valerie, who's on the floor, and asking the question, what are you doing down there, or something, probably with a few swear words in there. But it looks like Sheffield Wednesday are going to make a change, a double change, because they need to do something, they need to react, because the momentum's all with United.
Half time at the MKM, it is Hull 1, West Brom 2. West Brom, of course, never seem to lose, but they've had too many draws recently. But a victory today, and they will be 4th in the table. At the moment, Sheffield United are going joint top with Sunderland. If they scored a couple more goals, they would be top. Leeds would be in 3rd on 29 points, and then West Brom leading that group of sides, which includes Burnley, who play Swansea at 3 o'clock. Now Harmer on the halfway line, challenged by Charles, but Burrows will try and play it forward, and the game has become rather congested in midfield again after that brief flurry of activity around the goal for Sheffield United, but they do win a throw-in, and at the moment they have really clicked into gear. Once they scored the opening goal, Chris Wilder has seen them to be very effective at least holding on to leads.
Yeah, I mean, they had the intensity, that's what both managers asked for, but it's just having that bit of composure and quality in front of goal, and that's what Sheffield United have found, got themselves in front, and now it's with them.
Sariki now looking to attack, tries to win at least a corner, and O'Hare, I think, sent the ball behind there for a goal kick as he was looking to shepherd the ball out under pressure from Johnson, and indeed that's what he did, and it will be a goal kick.
Yeah, fuming O'Hare, he's just trying to step over the ball and it hit him and would have got a corner, an easy corner, and now he's just given a little bit of respite for Sheffield Wednesday.
Well, Chris Wilder was in charge the last time there was a goal in this derby, when Leon Clark scored the 4th one for United at Hillsborough back in 2017. And of course he's now back at Bramall Lane, looking to win another promotion to the Premier League for his club.
Sheffield Wednesday have had a problem this season in conceding in the first part of the second half. They just put themselves on the back foot, and they certainly have. It'll be pretty difficult to turn this around because of the momentum that Sheffield United have got, but they just need to be calm and composed as much as possible.
That's the 17th second half goal they've conceded this season, which is the most in the Championship, and Danny Roll will be very frustrated that whatever he said at half time was rendered irrelevant within a few minutes, and Michael Smith and JD Gassama will be coming on, so they'll be changing things up going forward. And Michael Smith has been a regular sub this season, but he has scored goals from the bench, and important ones too. And it's been a real debate among the Wednesday fans about why Michael Smith doesn't start more.
Yeah, I mean, I think that his sort of aerial strength, his hold-up play, and he's got an instinct for scoring as well. It's somebody needs to get on the end of something for Sheffield Wednesday. And Ugbo's looking across to see whether perhaps it might be him that's coming off for Smith, but I don't think it is it?
No, it's Marvin Johnson who is coming off. Of course, he suffered the wrist injury in the first half, but Michael Smith replaces him, and it's Svante Ingelsson who goes off to be replaced by JD Gassama. So it'll be interesting to see whether they go two up top here.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Ingelsson had a good game, and certainly his long throw had been effective, but he's obviously looking at something a little bit different. Danny Roll, but just to look how they set up now at Sheffield Wednesday when the game starts moving.
Well, the two subs came on and they were sort of pointing the fingers and suggesting what the new formation is. We'll have to see, but here is Gassama, his first involvement. Right foot shot from him isn't too far wide. He nearly scored there with his first touch. He's claiming he was fouled on the edge of the penalty area in the act of shooting, but those changes almost producing the instant dividend. Yeah,
I think he was also saying, Nigel, that perhaps it got a touch from a United player, but I think he just shot through the legs, didn't he? But as far as United are concerned, they just lost a bit of concentration there and nearly allowed Wednesday in.
Goal kicks played short by Ahmed Hodzic to Cooper, and now back to the Bosnian, who plays it long downfield. Campbell challenged by Iorfa, no one wins it, and Deschamps Bernard goes back towards Beadle, defending the Cop end away to our right hand side. United 1, Wednesday 0 in the Steel City derby, live on TalkSport 2 with 62 minutes played.
Tell you what, Gassama looks lively. He's come on, that's what Wednesday needs, just a different dynamic, a bit of pace, a player that's prepared to sort of run at, make a difference when they've come on, and Gassama's only been on a couple of minutes, you've already seen that.
Well, he was one of the main players in their battle for survival last season when they won 9 of their last 17 games to eventually stay up by 3 points. Now Lowe does well to play it down the line, left-hand side, into the path of Smith and back towards Lowe again. Windass is challenged, but Wednesday do have players around to win it back here. Bannon changing the point of the attack to find Charles. Valerie in support wide on the right-hand side now. 3 wait for the cross. Windass with those bright orange boots. Wide towards Charles again. And they've rather slowed the play down here Wednesday to give United the opportunity to rediscover their defensive shape. And now it's been given away. And O'Hare plays it long and high for United, looking for Campbell on the far side. He crumples to the turf under the challenge of Iorfa, and it will be a free kick for United.
I tell you what, he just expected Campbell. He made a great run in out wide, and he was waiting for Iorfa to come in, and as soon as he came in, he just died on the floor, and the referee fell for it. But I'm not so sure if it would have been the other way around, whether Sheffield Wednesday would have got that. But Sheffield Wednesday, since the substitutes, they've sort of come alive. They've got those 2 up front, and it's just added a little bit of energy to them. But Sheffield United have always got that counter.
But it's a free kick wide on the left-hand side. Michael Smith has now come back to try and help out defensively. 64 minutes played. And United here looking for the second goal, which will probably seal it. Burrows going short with the free kick to Peck. Peck now beckoning Burrows back towards him on the left-hand side. And in the end, Peck now will try and deliver a cross, which is blocked by Bannon. Back towards Peck, who slices it into the penalty area, off balance, and into the arms of Beadle.
Yeah, they made a mess of that then, Sheffield United. They could have put the ball into the box, but tried to play and then they lost possession.
I'm never quite sure why teams do that.
I mean, I think that perhaps, Sheffield Wednesday probably got the height difference in there, but still, you just can put pressure on. Embrace the energy of the crowd, get them up by putting the ball in dangerous areas, and in the end they just lost it.
Now Sariki streaking forward down the right-hand side for United, pulls it back to O'Hare inside the penalty area. He meanders towards the byline. He's challenged by Lowe. The ball springs behind, and it will be a corner.
Yeah, it's a good take, but I think there's a couple of times now Callum O'Hare, the ball come to him in the box, that he could have taken a first-time shot, but he's taken a touch, and then it's difficult because he moves the ball very quick. He's got a low centre of gravity. You don't want to get anywhere near him as a defender, but got his team a corner.
And the corner will be taken by Harrison Burrows, who has already become a firm favourite here. He's got the option of going short to Peck, but Burrows this time swings it high towards the far post. It's kept alive by Suter, who dived in. Suter's now having a real scrap inside the penalty area with Charles. I think a punch was swung there by Shay Charles. I don't think he connected. I'm not sure what the referee saw, but in the end he waves both players away.
So Harry Suter's coming in on the far post and actually comes round and gets a header. Shay Charles, and they're trying to get up and got hold of each other, pulling each other all over the place. And it's just, not really as much in it as it could have been, but arms flailing everywhere.
Well, it's a free kick to Wednesday, which was given for another incident inside the penalty area, some way from what was happening between Suter and Charles.
I'll tell you what, the ref will sleep well tonight.
Well, it's a very difficult game
so difficult
to referee, and of course he doesn't have VAR to help him out either. I think if we did have VAR, this game wouldn't finish before midnight. Saki almost wins it back in a promising area for United, but now Wednesday win it back themselves. And here is Gassama, infield to Windass. Bannon finding Charles. Bannon tells him to quickly play it wide to the far side, and Valerie, and that's what he does. Valerie now on towards Windass. Blackburn Hodzic comes out of the centre, does well to keep the ball in play, and eventually it's hammered clear up to the halfway line. Flicked on by Campbell, but he only finds Bernard, who goes all the way back towards Beadle again.
It still hasn't dropped though. We're talking about the intensity dropping. We're still playing at a high intensity, particularly after Sheffield United scored, and so Sheffield Wednesday have to get themselves back in it. Spaces are appearing though.
Raksaki has now been fouled by Lowe, and it will be a free kick right in front of Danny Rawle, who is just giving some instructions to Ike Ogbo, who I have to say has not had a huge amount of service, but hasn't really got involved either.
No, I think that it's been a difficult game for forwards for Wednesday. I think the midfielders are more involved, getting themselves on the ball up the pitch, but not really put good ball into the box. Sheffield Wednesday.
Underway at the City Ground in the Premier League, Forest 0, Newcastle 0. Sunday session over on TalkSport with Sam. We'll keep you up to date with everything else which is happening, as I think the ball went behind for a corner there. Hisham Bernard was looking to just guide the ball behind for a goal kick. He was challenged by Campbell and hit Bernard on the knee, and it's another corner.
I'm not sure whether it hit him on the knee after it had gone over the line. It's difficult to see from that, but the assistant ref was right in line. Got a little bit of a shove as well, so it's unfortunate for Bernard.
Another corner kick which Burrows will take. A game which has had 26 fouls in it so far. I'm surprised it's as low as that, but the referee has tried to let it flow. Burrows with the corner in towards the near post, nodded clear initially by Gassama. Peck does well to rise and head it back towards Burrows. Another cross high to the far post, flying through the crowd. Sophistic clear is Beadle. Now Harmo on the left hand side, a dangerous cross in. Raksaki with a header which is blocked at the far post by Lowe. And now it's brought clear by Gassama on this near side for Wednesday. He comes in field, he was body checked by a combination of Peck and Suter, and it will be a free kick.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to give that as a free kick. It was too physical.
Now Gassama coming forward, he's got Windass in support. He comes in field, outside the penalty area is Charles, now wide towards the right hand side, and Valerie. The cross in over the head of Gassama, flailing at the far post, and it'll be a goal kick.
Sheffield Wednesday fans behind that goal, they're getting really frustrated with the team. You know, you do not want to leave this ground the losers in a Sheffield derby, because you've got I don't know how many months until the game comes again, and you've got the international break without any football to drown your sorrows in, desperate to get an equaliser.
But they brought on Michael Smith, so they need to start giving him a few crosses. The return game at Hillsborough is in the middle of March, so it's a long time to stew on it if you lose this game today.
It certainly is, but you know, you've got Smith up there, you've got Ugbo, and like you say, Nigel, they're not really getting it wide. They're trying to be direct, but get the ball wide, get the ball into the box and cause problems for the Sheffield United central defenders.
Tyrese Campbell has gone down just in front of Chris Wilder's technical area. And he's receiving treatment, and of course it will give both managers the opportunity to get their remaining players in to have a word with them, and that's what Danny Rawle is doing at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he recognises that his team have had, you know, little bits of this second half, but they're chasing the game. It's so difficult to chase the game away from home. Sheffield United at times have been comfortable, but I still think the Sheffield United supporters in here are still sitting uncomfortably, just looking at the time ticking by quite slowly, and you don't really want to sit on the lead, because Sheffield Wednesday will go for it, I'm sure, at some point.
In the WSL, Crystal Palace have an early 1-0 lead against Everton. Liverpool still trailing 2-0 at home to Chelsea, and they have about 15 minutes to go in that game, and they'll be back underway shortly at the MKM, where West Brom lead Hull by 2-1 in the Championship. And they're also underway in the other 2 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League at Old Trafford and the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And TalkSport is the place to follow those games as United prepare for another change, and Ryan One will be coming on, and he'll replace the goal scorer Tyrese Campbell.
Yeah, he done well, Campbell. It was a really good finish from him to get Sheffield United's noses in front. And to be fair, the changes that Chris Wilder made at half-time, particularly Sariki down the right-hand side, because Raksaki was sort of left on his own. Gilchrist sort of coming from behind him, but obviously Sariki on the right-hand side, a bit of pace. There's 2 of them with pace causing problems for Wednesday.
And Raksaki also replaced by Sam McCallum. So effectively they have two left-backs now playing on the left-hand side, Sheffield United, but McCallum is a player who can always play further forward, as I suspect Burrows could as well.
Yeah. And just shore it up, I think, Chris Wilder, because you don't want to encourage Sheffield Wednesday onto you, but you need to make sure that you are compact and you don't take too many risks now trying to get a second.
And Ryan Ornate, only 18 years of age, scored in that victory against Bristol City as Windass sees the ball fall invitingly to his feet, 25 yards out, but he hammers the ball too high over the top.
Yeah, first time really using Smith, and he holds it up, chests it down, takes a touch, Windass, and skies it. But that's the sort of combination play that Smith is brought into the team for, bringing the likes of Windass into the game.
Well, we're approaching the last 15 minutes, and Wednesday have scored 6 and conceded 7 in the last 15 minutes of games in the Championship so far this season. So the outcome of this game may still be in doubt, as Anke Ugbo comes off and he'll be replaced by Anthony Masaba. And the Dutchman who scored the winner in the victory against West Brom at Hillsborough earlier this season, and he's another one who did really well towards the end of last season but has found himself on the bench recently. Yeah,
it's interesting. Danny Roll seen that. He's put Masaba on the round side and allowed Windass to get closer to Smith. He's gone in just behind Smith.
Well, they've got two natural wingers on the field now in Masaba and Gassama. And they've got a centre forward in Smith, as Smith flicks on, and here's the first opportunity for Masaba to use his pace, breaking into the penalty area. What a run! And in the end the shot is blocked behind for a corner, but Anthony Masaba almost scoring straight away.
I'll tell you what, absolute burst of pace, and he's got the ball at his feet as well. Good flick on by Smith, gets right, just goes direct, Nigel, straight into the penalty area. So Sheffield United had to just, two of them in the end, blocking his shot, and it goes for a corner. But terrific run.
I think it was Siriki who came across in the end to block it.
Unbelievable run. Masaba's just come on.
Corner kick for Wednesday, 15 minutes to go. Bannon in towards that near post again. Oh, it's over the top. Iorfa, what a great chance, deflected over the top, 3 yards out.
Tell you what, I don't think that as it came in that he expected to land at his feet. Coming in a load of bodies, and actually came down to his feet, and I think the players at the front post completely missed it. Suter is there, and I think it's Suter, isn't it, that gets something on it. He can't quite believe it.
I think Iorfa's shot was going skywards anyway, but Suter did get the final touch. Bannon with the corner again, high towards the far post, bodies go tumbling. 3 Sheffield United players went down there, and I think one of them eventually got the free kick.
Yeah, certainly still in it, Sheffield Wednesday. I don't think they've ever been properly out of this game. They've been competitive. I think it was just a bit of pushing and pulling in the penalty area, and just gives Sheffield United a little bit of relief, because there've been a couple of set pieces. The Sheffield Wednesday substitutes, I think all the substitutes have made a difference that have come on in this game, and that's important for the managers.
Sheffield United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0 on TalkSport 2, and we have 13 minutes to play plus added time. We'll be straight off to Munich at the end of this game for the Giants against the Panthers in the NFL at the Allianz Arena. Wednesday enjoying a really good spell at the moment, but they still trail. Here is Gassama, back towards Lowe, and now Deschamps Bernard. And Iorfa will have to go back to his fellow central defender. Bannon takes over, and Bannon is having more of an influence on the game now.
Yeah, he's just getting himself in areas where he can receive it, and he has the composure to pass well. But for Wednesday, it's all about getting the ball wide and into the box now.
And it's Masaba once again finding Bannon on towards Masaba, 20 yards out. He nearly breaks for Smith on the edge of the area. It's brought clear by Peck, and now drilled forward by Burrows, but it's over the head of One all the way through towards Peter.
Yeah, just give possession away, Sheffield United. You can see what Burrows was trying to do, just trying to release pressure and get the ball over the top, because all of a sudden the momentum is with Sheffield Wednesday for the last couple of minutes.
And now Burrows will come forward again, down the left-hand side. One waits in the centre. Burrows now in the penalty area himself, squared up, but he finds Peck. Peck onto the left foot, onto the right foot. In the end, he was closed down, but the shot was deflected and it squirts behind for a corner.
Yeah, he can't quite believe it. Peck, he actually did well. You know, he stayed calm, the ball came to him. He shaped to shoot on one foot, brought it onto the right, but I think that what happened in the end was they just made sure they got enough bodies in front Wednesday.
Palmer will take the corner kick. A goal now, and surely it's all over with 11 minutes to play. 1-0 United lead. Palmer's delivery, high towards the far post, and once again it beats everybody and swings straight behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a waste. You know, you're trying to disrupt what Sheffield Wednesday built up the last few minutes. You get yourself a set piece, Sheffield United, and then waste it. Which means Wednesday will just try and keep going. This is going to be tight right to the end, I'm sure. Both managers looking on pensively at the side of the pitch.
Beadle clears downfield. Smith having a wrestling match there with Suter even before the ball got there, but the referee waves play on, and now One in pursuit of a high ball forward, and Iorfa did well there to keep pace with him and just ensure the ball goes out on the far side for a throw into United.
Yeah, One's got some pace and just put the two centre-backs under pressure. Iorfa was the one who just made sure, put the ball out for a throw-in, that's where it's safest.
Jamal Lowe and Paul Valentin will be coming on shortly for Wednesday. As Valerie clears it downfield, flicked on by Smith, and he'll find Windass, and Windass has got support wide on the left-hand side. And it's Gassama now who can attack the penalty area. Checks back in field. Windass now on the outside. Gassama twisting and turning away from the challengers, still maintaining possession. Now Charles wide towards the far side, and Valerie low into the penalty area, cleared though by Harmer. Straight back out towards Charles again. Now Valerie again. Gassama makes the run to the far side, and once again Wednesday rather have to slow it down to try and make progress, but they do win a throw-in.
Yeah, it's been difficult for Sheffield United the last few minutes. Sheffield Wednesday just giving a little burst of energy from the changes. You know, they're moving the ball up the pitch and they're making a couple more now as well.
Yeah, Jan Valerie is coming off, and Paul Valentin, the Spaniard, will come on to replace him. And Jamal Lowe, who was a regular goal scorer for Swansea in South Wales derbies, he will replace Josh Windass. And Windass has had some potential moments here today, but it's never quite dropped for him, and he looks frustrated as he heads towards the technical area.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a talented player. Windass, he's had a couple of opportunities, not quite caught the ball right. We know he can score, but it's an opportunity for Lowe.
9 minutes to play. Long throw high into the penalty area, flicked on by Smith. Appeals for handball, mainly from the fans behind that goal, as One controls and hammers it clear. And now Beadle brings it down outside the penalty area, the goalkeeper for Wednesday, and sends it high downfield. They are in the ascendancy at the moment, trailing by a goal to nil with 8.5 minutes to play here on TalkSport 2, and they've got a free kick. It was Iorfa who was caught on the far side. And it's played quickly, and Sam McCallum, who maybe isn't quite attuned to the game, was the player who committed the foul there. Now Gassama coming forward down the left for Sheffield Wednesday. Jamal Lowe comes short and then peels back into the penalty area. Gassama tries to go beyond Sariki, and the final touch was off the fullback, and it will be a corner kick.
Another set piece that Sheffield United will have to defend, and you've been forcing the issue. Sheffield Wednesday trying to desperately get themselves back in the game.
7.5 minutes to play. Wednesday trailing by a goal to nil, but knocking on the door here. Charles will take the corner kick. United have pulled everybody back. Charles with the delivery, and at the far post it's headed over the top by Iorfa, and he hangs his head, and then there's another confrontation in the heart of the 6-yard area, and the referee is quick to come in and sort that out.
Tell you what, that's a chance, nice. You know, you look, it's quite high. Suter is the one that's marking him, but he got above Suter. Needed to direct their header better. I would say that's a good chance for Orford.
Reece Norrington-Davis, I think, was preparing to come on, but maybe Chris Wilder has seen something out there and is changing his mind. Ahmed Hodzic is the player just talking to the referee. He and Smith were the players who were involved at the centre of what was happening there.
Pulling each other's shirts, and then Ahmed Hodzic sort of went down and said he got a mark on his face, but I think that was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
I think he'll live. Anyway, they're making a change, and it won't be Norrington-Davis. It will be Jack Robinson who'll be coming on. As it's flicked on into the penalty area by McCallum, and it's played back towards Beadle by Bernard. High again. Sousa goes down, and he's got a very cheap free kick, and Michael Smith says that he went down very easily. I think he probably did, but I also think there was contact.
Yeah, I think he had two hands on him, but Smith they've not used Smith enough. They've only just started to using him in the last few minutes, and he's just really effective to play the ball into and get themselves up the pitch Wednesday.
Free kick, which will be taken by Ahmed Hodzic, and here comes that final change. And it's Harrison Burrows who comes off and Jack Robinson who comes on, so they could go to 3 at the back, or equally Robinson could play down the left-hand side.
Yeah, just see where he goes now, but he's had a good game. Harrison Burrows is a brilliant young player. United got from Peterborough, but certainly confident young man.
Well, they've got McCallum on the field, so they could go to 3 at the back. Equally, Robinson could play as the full-back as well if required, but with 5 minutes to go, I think it's a case of everybody back.
Yeah, I think it's about managing the game now for Sheffield United. Can they get the 3 points that are just so important at this stage for them?
Sariki just slipping as he plays the ball in field. And now Peck finding Ahmed Hodzic. O'Hare tries to allow the ball to run. And Bernard going all the way back to Beadle. He hammers the ball downfield. Smith losing out to Suter this time. Peck able to bring it down, but it strikes Sariki, and it breaks infield to Charles. And Shea Charles can bring it forward now for Sheffield Wednesday. Good ball into the penalty area for Masaba. He keeps it in play, but then he slips at the crucial moment, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, I mean, it was a diagonal ball in behind, and he really had to shift, didn't he, to get on the end of it, Masaba, and he couldn't keep it in. But I think they have gone to a back three, Sheffield United, just to deal with the two big men up front.
Bruno Fernandes has marked his 250th appearance for Manchester United with the opening goal. They lead Leicester by 1-0 in the Premier League. Still 0-0, Forest Newcastle and Spurs Ipswich. And in the Championship, an hour played at the MKM. Still Hull 1, West Brom 2. And in WSL, Chelsea closing out a 2-0 victory against Liverpool. Palace still a goal up on Everton in the early stages at Gander Green Lane. I was there last week for the FA Cup along the south. As a free kick's been given to United on the far side for the challenge by Deschamps Bernard, and United here firmly in the business of winding down the clock.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an absolutely pulsating game. It's ebbed and flowed in both directions. Sheffield United have had the better of possession, got that goal, but it's certainly been a close game. Looks like it's going to be right till the end.
Free kick, flighted high into the penalty area. Sariki gathers, challenged by Lowe. Fizzed back in by Ahmed Hodzic for Peck, who does well to control that. Sariki, though, with a poor ball forward, and in the end Smith almost wins it, and it's a shuddering challenge. Suter and Smith on the halfway line, and it's got out of play for a United throw-in, and the ground is still shaking.
My word, two big lads, them two, Smith and Suter, and neither wanted to give up anything there, and Suter got the ball, and the man as well. It wasn't a foul, it was just a really strong challenge.
I think there's a crater in the pitch where they both landed. Here now is Peck on this near side. Max Lowe not giving any ground, but it's won back by Siriki. Siriki, though, only finding Gassama finding Bannon, who will allow the ball to drift behind because that took a touch off O'Hare, and it will be a goal kick. And we have 2 minutes of normal time to play, 1-0 to United.
Yeah, they need to get the ball up the pitch. That's what Danny Rawls is saying from the sideline, from the goalkeeper. The goal kick, get it up and play in the right areas for Sheffield Wednesday, see if they can nick something.
Headed down well by Siriki to find Sousa from the goal kick, but now hammered forward by Iorfa, looking for Smith, and again Suter wins the aerial duel. Shea Charles with a high boot on Sousa, and it will be a free kick for United, and the referee shows a yellow card for Shea Charles.
Yeah, I think Sousa's playing the game. You know, he recognises how long's left. He got caught, I think, in that challenge, and just giving his team a chance to just run the clock down. The referee is getting his card out for Shea Charles.
Murillo has scored his first goal for Nottingham Forest. They lead Newcastle by a goal to nil at the City Ground. I think he's had a couple disallowed by VAR, Murillo, so he'll be delighted with that. Free kick which Robinson is over. Chelsea now lead 3-0 against Liverpool in the WSL. Aggie Beever-Jones with the third one. As Wednesday play it long, but I think the ball had gone out of play there before it was played, but Wednesday will have a throw-in on the far side. In fact, a free kick's been given. And Beadle bowls it forward about 10 yards further than he should have done, so he'll be ushered back. And he goes back a couple of yards, and the referee will send him back. In fact, offside was given, so he knows exactly where it needs to be taken from.
Hilarious, because the crowd on that side are giving him pelters.
Again, he steals a yard to hammer it 50. A minimum of 6 added minutes here. 1-0 to Sheffield United.
6 minutes. That's obviously all the substitutes.
Well, that cheer you can hear is because Gassama had the opportunity to control on this near side. It bounces over his foot into the crowd, and the United fans aren't giving the ball back.
I'll tell you what, this has been brutal. From the fans on the sideline to the players on the pitch, nobody's given an inch. It's been absolutely brutal.
It really has been championship football in the raw here today. No one has given an inch. The fear of losing at times has overcome the desire to win it, but at the moment Sheffield United are winning it. But Wednesday still have time. Bannon with the free kick, high to the far side, headed away by McCallum. Now Valentin, though, challenged, and he's lost out. Sousa pirouettes and turns and plays the ball in field. Harmer's trying to release Peck, but the ball hits Peck on the back, but Peck recovers. He's now got O'Hare in space to the left if he wants to play it in, but Peck may go himself, a slaloming run, but the cross is blocked by Bernard. Peck was then caught late, but the referee allows play to continue, but Sousa was stronger there than Iorfa and goes all the way back towards Cooper.
Yeah, he's been good, Sousa. When they've got themselves in front of Sheffield United, he's been very good just sitting in front of the back four.
Now an opportunity for One to bring it under control, and he's done well. He's got Peck in support. One thought about going for glory from 30 yards, but hits Barry Bannon about 6 inches away. Now Ahmed Hodzic coming in field again, midway inside the Wednesday half. 2 of the 6 added minutes played here. Siriki finding Harmer, back towards Siriki again, but Lowe challenges him inside the area. The United fans want a penalty, but it was always going to be a goal kick.
Absolutely, it's probably a foul the other way, coming together in the area, just got the wrong side. Harmer, the way that he gave the ball, Sadiki's run just gone too far.
Well, it's not been pretty by any means, but Sheffield United are almost there. And rarely have you seen a derby in which both sets of players have known in every single second what it means.
Yeah, I think that, if Sheffield Wednesday end up losing this, the fans will be really disappointed. But you can't look at the players and say that they didn't give everything. They did. They just lacking quality. I think Sheffield United, in a big moment for them, scored the goal and defended well. Sheffield Wednesday defended well the rest of the time. It's just that 1 point, but certainly been a close game.
Well, you can hear the crowd already starting to celebrate, but there's still time here for Sheffield Wednesday, but they need to get the ball. Charles plays it forward, straight to Robinson though. Robinson though has lost out, and now Masaba will try and bring it forward, but the ball evades his grasp. Suter goes long on the far side. Valentine now in a wrestling match with O'Hare, and it's out of play, and it's a throw-in. One or two fans already beginning to leave. How can you leave a game like this?
You certainly can't leave this. It's been absolutely breathless. I've really enjoyed watching it.
I know the roast might be on the table, but still. Now Honor coming forward now, but his route to goal is cut off by Bernard. He hammers the ball clear. Charles does well to bring it down on his chest, but he runs into Sousa. Sousa now looking to advance on the Wednesday goal. Bannon slides in, but United have players around it here, and they look to try and wind down the clock. Harmer heading towards the corner flag in the 94th minute, and he's then nutmegged Bernard. He goes down, knew what he was doing precisely there to win the free kick.
I tell you what, we talked about Sheffield United not having the players who played in this derby. They have players with now. So you're talking about Sousa, who knows which areas to play in at the end of the game. Harmer takes it to the corner. Everybody thinks, oh, he's in the corner. Then he tries to nick it out, gets a foul, and they've got a free kick right in the corner, and a few more seconds used up.
We know what will happen here. They'll play the free kick short, and then they'll stay by the corner flag, and eventually somebody will be flagged for offside. That's what always happens. That's exactly what they do. Wednesday try and win it back, and in the end they do have a throw-in. But they're at the wrong end of the field with barely a minute to play. They go back towards Beadle. He brings it down and then lofts it up towards the halfway line. Smith and Suter again looking to win the aerial duel. It's the United man who wins it. Valentine hooks it forward. Suter is there again, flicked on by O'Hare, and Bernard under pressure for Monet going back towards Beadle. Beadle now just has to lump it forward again, looking for Smith. Smith tried to get goal side, but in the end it was flicked on by Iorfa, who was forward. Now Lowe. Valentine on the halfway line. 30 seconds of added time to play. High up towards the edge of the penalty area. Iorfa heads it down. Smith trying to wrestle for the possession. It breaks to Lowe. Lowe is challenged by Robinson, and it will go out for a throw-in to Wednesday, and this is surely their final chance.
Yeah, a little bit desperate then in the penalty area from Sheffield United, but it's going to be a long throw by the looks of it. Sheffield Wednesday need to get that first contact.
Throw-in for Sheffield Wednesday. The 6 minutes has elapsed. Long into the near post. It's allowed to travel a long way. It comes back out to Barry Bannon. Bannon wide towards Gassama. Gassama with a low ball into the penalty area. Cleared initially. It's all over. Sheffield United celebrate. They have won the Steel City derby.